After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." Matthew 2, 1-2. Going back for hundreds of years, many people have tried to figure out what exactly was the Star of Bethlehem, assuming it to be a naturally occurring phenomenon. They've done this by doing some extremely tedious mathematical calculations, essentially running the night sky backwards in time in order to figure out what was going on in the sky at about the time of the birth of Christ. Now, there are some pretty interesting theories out there, but they all rely on the event being a knowable event and not a one-time miracle. If it was a miracle, it will remain a mystery. Now, we don't know the exact time of the visit of the Magi, though it was probably not the night that Jesus was born. And the Gospels don't tell us how many Magi there were, though it does mention 3 gifts that were presented. In case you're ever asked, that's one of those trick Bible questions. Now, what we do know for certain about the Magi in general is that they were considered to be wise men. They were from the east, most likely Persia or Chaldea, which is modern-day Iran or Iraq, and that they most likely traveled in a caravan from hundreds or possibly over 1,000 miles away. The historian Herodotus recorded 2 meanings for Magi, one as a tribe of the Medes, and the other a special caste whose actions include interpretation of omens and dreams. Roman author Pliny the Elder, who lived from 23 to 79 AD, wrote that the Magi practiced some type of magic. The Roman Jewish historian Josephus mentions Magi, who were advisors and dream interpreters for King Nebuchadnezzar, corroborating the story written in the book of Daniel in the Hebrew Scriptures. The Magi in the Gospels were apparently respected since they got an audience with a curious King Herod, who then asked them to go search for the child and report back directly to him. It's also possible that the Magi had studied the writings of the prophet Daniel, who in time past had been the chief of the court seers in Persia. Daniel delivered a prophecy which gives a timeline for the birth of the Messiah. The Gospels record that the Magi brought with them 3 gifts to present to Jesus: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Historically, we know that gold was a symbol of kingship. Frankincense was perfumed incense that was a symbol of deity, and myrrh was an anointing or embalming oil, a symbol of honored death. Or, as the 3rd century theologian Origen wrote, gold as to a king, myrrh as to one who was mortal, and incense as to a god.